The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Natasha and Becky, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Super pumped to have you back on. Of course. Thanks for reaching out. I tell everybody, like there's a reason. Like this is an independent podcast. The very few sponsors we have no influence on what I do. So I'm always like, I only interview people I want to talk to. And when I'm done with that, I'm always like, hey, let me know if you ever want to come back. And I think some people think I'm just saying that, but you took it to heart, which you should have. And here we are again. I want to say, was it 2 Christmases ago when I ran into you guys at the Midway Cafe?
It was last.
Was it a Christmas
January? Show? It was after Christmas because we were up there to record some like guest vocals on One Fall's album.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we were up there for like a couple of days. Yeah, it was like January.
That's
or
right.
Something
That's
like
right.
That.
I think that show the show was it's usually like a Christmas show, and it got put. I think it was in January that year. So that makes sense. It meant the world. Y'all came right up to me and gave me a hug, and I was like, "Hey, I know them." You know what I mean? So, I appreciate that. There's a lot we gotta catch up. I feel like since the last time you were on, you dropped a 7-inch, right?
Yeah.
You dropped a 7-inch. You guys went on tour with a bunch of different people. I was really pumped to see y'all play with Dead Pioneers because they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, that was a really fun tour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was our first time seeing them live. So that was awesome.
Oh, man, I hope they can make it out to New England at some point because I want to. I had Greg on the podcast last year, and just to talk with him about like just his art in general, and I was super like the dude gives TED Talks, and I was like super intimidated to have him on this little show. You know what I mean? So super nice human being, and I feel like the Iron Roses and Dead Pioneers are just a good pairing.
Yeah, I think so too. I keep nudging. I'm like, we have the same booking agency in Europe, which is how we both ended up on that same tour because that tour was put together by our booking agency. But I would love to do some stuff with them here in the States, or in Europe, but anywhere really.
Yeah.
Like most specifically like the New England area, so that you could go.
Right. Yes, or at least somewhere. I'll drive. I'm not afraid of driving. Well, maybe right now with the gas prices, but I'll drive out. I would drive pretty far to see that show. I think I can't drive to Europe. That's my problem.
Nobody
right?
can.
Yeah.
right. So but and that the 7-inch was really good. That came out, was that last year?
Yeah, so it was funny enough, like we decided after the tour that we were on with Dead Pioneers, we just got a wild hair up our ass and decided to release some music. So it was literally between the end of that tour, which was in May, and then our European festival tour, which was like July. So
Hmm.
the first single off that 7-inch came out in June. So we did, or July, I think July, August, and September. Yeah, because we released the
So
last
I'm
one
letting
on
her talk because I have
September
no idea.
11th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was accidental. I have to say it every time, it was
Yeah.
accidental. But yeah.
But it wasn't avoided.
No.
Right on, right on. Natasha, we have a connection that I didn't know about until this past summer, or last summer I went to a wedding in Pennsylvania, and a friend of mine, Paul Neal, was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know Paul. Yeah.
And Paul showed me the tattoo of your autograph
Yes.
that he has. Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, and then we had this good conversation. I love Paul to death. And we've worked together through like the podcast stuff and like records for the record club, stuff like that. So being able to hang out with him at a wedding, which was like a very, very punk rock wedding. It was like six like punk rock bands played,
awesome.
and it wasn't a VFW hall, but it just looked like one of those, you know what I mean? It was awesome. It was a good time. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I know that. I said, I know Nat. Like, she's been on the podcast, and so he's a big fan of y'all, and it was cool. It was cool to kind of like, I don't know, this whole thing we have here is just like this punk rock thing, I guess, is just like we're connected everywhere, everyone, and it's really good to see. It's really good to have these communities like that, and the Iron Roses, I feel, are ones that y'all are ones building communities as well.
Thank you.
And my hats is off to you. And I said that the first time you were on, and you've run with that, and I mean, I feel like that what you guys are doing is just getting bigger and bigger.
Thank you.
We hope so.
Yeah, we're working hard on it. So
So I don't know, like, let's talk. I mean, first, Becky, you sent me Molotov Nights. Holy shit. I think I texted you like after the first, either it was like halfway through the first listen or after my first listen. No subtlety in this album at all, which I don't expect any from you guys. You know what I mean? Like y'all do your thing and you do it hard, and but there's so much for me with it to pack in, and like I want to really talk about it. And one of those things is like the different sounds. We've talked about this before with the first record, right? There was like just a bunch of different sounds. I feel like in today's world, that works really well with keeping people's attention spans throughout a whole album. In such like I say it all the time. Like we're in a instant gratification and single serving world now. It sucks, but that's where we're at. But if you can hang on to someone's attention, and I feel like this record does that.
Thank you.
And what you all do is just like, you just like to play music you love, and you mix it all together, right? And like this one, I heard a lot more like pop elements to it, and I really liked it. I think it went well throughout the whole album, especially with all like this album is very aggressive. Very angry.
It's funny to like be able to say there's a lot of pop elements and it's really aggressive. Like it's like it's interesting. I'm very excited of what we came up with.
Yeah. Tell me about the thought process behind like writing, like doing this album.
I think a lot of it was, I do a lot of the writing, or did. I still do, but like Becky and Pedro mostly help in that. And it was, for the most part, I think Becky and Pedro pushing me outside of my comfort zone with what I write. Pedro bringing in a bit more rock and roll to it, and everything I write, Becky going, too sing-songy. It needs to be more aggressive. Fine.
I know you know how to do that.
So, I think with this album, there were a lot more checks and balances, and there was a lot more of a, let's mold this into all of us and not just have it be, this was like, like the first album, a lot of it was just me writing a bunch of stuff and everyone else putting their stuff on it, what they do on it. And instead with this album, it was really a conglomeration of everyone, finally, in what we were doing. And that really shone through, I think, on it.
Yeah. Now, does that excite you, like for that element to do a more collaborative like that?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, I can't just keep going like right. It's honestly very frustrating and upsetting at times when it's like you've got a whole band and you're writing and you get stuck in a place, because you always will. And whether they're set up in your own head or externally, there are deadlines no matter what you do to when you need to get stuff out. And so I'd be sitting there like, I've got nothing. I need someone to tell me something. You know what I mean? And so not only that, but I think I did my solo stint. I don't like it. There's no real checks and balances to it. I could just write a bunch of shitty songs and no one's going to tell me it's bad. Like I don't want that. I need to be in a community and a collective of people and writers and musicians who know what the fuck they're talking about and even though I'm sort of leading the way just in the writing aspect of it, I have all these people to bounce that off of and to give me new ideas and fresh ideas and to just make it more of a collective thing, which was the idea of this band in the first place, was to let's do something that is a collective working. And I think we finally did that. And I think we finally found our sound as a band.
Yeah, I think so too. Cause like I said, y'all drop a lot of different elements of different types of music in there, but it's the Iron Roses.
Yeah.
Like every song,
100%.
there's no way of saying that's not that. And it's funny that you say the it's very anthemic too, like a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And almost every song I found myself either humming along to it or there's that one that's got let me look real quick. There's a song I can't remember, but there's this real I don't know, chipper, cheerleading, ooh-hoo.
That could be any of them.
Yeah, and I'm doing that. It's it's great. It's such a catchy album, through and through. And again, when I say stuff like it's super aggressive and it's but it's also has these other elements, that's what makes up the Iron Roses. I feel like it's just all of that together.
It's a super important thing to us, the hooks and the catchiness of it, because if you're trying to get a message across, you need to get in people's ears. And it's also what we love. We love a song that gets an earworm. We love an earworm. And so it's an important part of what we do. And we will write 30 songs to break it down to 10. There are so many songs in the graveyard that that built this album.
Yeah.
I call that the treasure chest. I want to hear. I want to hear those too. You know what I mean? I want to hear those ones that get pushed off.
It's funny because they were so many songs that we got rid of that are great fucking songs, but
they weren't the songs on this album.
Right. They didn't fit in the context of what the album was shaping up to be. And I love that, you leaned into the catchiness of it, or that caught you, because I think that, obviously we're talking about very heavy things and very important things, but I can't stand listening to a song or even going to a show where I feel like I'm being sung at.
Yeah.
And I think that, our live show is certainly a community experience. And so I think we've definitely made an effort to build that into the songs themselves. So when you're listening at home, you're also kind of getting that with those sing along type parts.
Yeah.
And I think that's certainly something that's us. So, no matter what style we're in, it's still going to be catchy, and we're not sorry.
And it's great. I was saying about having I actually love writing something, being really excited about it, coming down and being check this out real quick. Da, 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 and her going, and like, fuck, okay, back at it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a challenge. I love it because I want everything that we put out to be the literal best we could have feasibly done, you know? And it gives us albums that we're super proud of.
Now, when the decision made to put out the 7-inch, right? Was that like you just had a couple songs, you just want to get them out there, or because I feel like I see a lot of people, not like musicians across the board, like I'm an album person, right? Like I want to hear the whole thing front to back. I want physical, you know what I mean? I want liner notes. I want to know about the songs, like. But then again, we live in this world of instant gratification, and it's all about the singles. It's all putting out a single, and I feel like there's so much out there, and I'm not like there's so much out there across the board for all music. It's hard to stay relevant, right? Sometimes. Now, how do you like? Was putting out the 7-inch just a way to kind of bridge the gap between the two records, or was it just like you really needed to get these songs out?
Kind of
both.
I mean, we only have one album before that.
Yeah, it was, you know what it was? It was that those 3 songs could have been on this album, but we're not putting out a 13-song fucking album. That's ridiculous. So, because if we're going to be catchy to the point, we want to keep people's attention. We want people leaving wanting more, you know? So for us, this sort of, I was telling Becky, like, I feel like actually the times have come around to justify my like desire for a 2.5-minute song. Like, I love that. I want a quick to the point fucking song. Get in, get out. I hate a song that just keeps going. It drives me nuts. So, and I remember back in the day, I would write those kinds of songs, and I remember people like, it's not long enough. Like, you need to add. Why is it so short? And now it's like, fuck yeah, this is my time, you know? But so it was sort of a little bit of both. We were like, we want to put something out, but we're really not going to put out a 13-song album. And we're not really ready to put out a full length. So let's put out these 3 songs because they're the best of what we sort of have right now. Throw those out, and then let's work on the other stuff that we have while that's out, you know? And then the songs that we had past those 3 started changing and evolving. And we're super glad that we did this, because if we would have put it all out, this album wouldn't have been what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Becky, were you writing? Have you been writing songs for a long time, or did you start like? I think we talked about you started to write songs more so like with the Iron Roses, right? Than you had in the past.
Yeah. I mean,
how has that experience been for you with writing?
It's been a mental journey. Cause I just come from a place where I've always been like, I've always teased that I was like a Fergie. Like I would just kind of show up and do a little bit in the background, and that was it. And it was like, especially, you know, when we got to the writing for the 7-inch, like I knew that I wanted to be more involved in that process or take up more room in that process, but I didn't know how to not ask for it, because I didn't need permission to ask for it, but I guess maybe allow myself the space to do that. And I guess just trust my own instincts a little bit. And so you know, I would come to Nat with some ideas, or you know, she's sitting here with a guitar, and I'm hearing things, and I would say that, you know, 100% with this last album, that's the most I've ever written, and the most influence I've ever had, it, you know, on a collection of music. But it was also really hard for me. Like I had to
got us in a lot of arguments.
Yeah, and it's not even like we were angry at each other.
No,
we have like hard time when we're both in this space of like excited or not being able to communicate an idea because we're so frantic. It's just like, I don't know how to say this, like how to get it out. But you know, I also had to learn a lot, and I got to be challenged a lot, and I also got to challenge Nat a lot, you know, to think in different ways, because we hear things differently. But yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of moments where I was standing because we write in the room that we're sitting in right now a lot. And I remember, several times being in here, just my entire nervous system just absolutely shitting the bed on me and, being in a panic because I A, couldn't get an idea out, or B, an idea was coming out and it felt so uncomfortable to do that I had to figure out how do I art this way? This
Right.
is very scary.
And then there's songs like Look Away that you came
Yeah.
to me with, and I start playing. You're like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Okay, keep going, keep going. Like, it
Yeah.
was like,
That was the one that kind of
yeah.
pivoted the album into that more aggressive
Yeah.
space. So it worked.
I
It
like
was just
it.
a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I mean, writing's very vulnerable,
Very much.
right? And writing something that you're gonna put out there for the public and like basically sing with them because they're gonna sing with you because that's how your songs are written, right? It's
If they
scary.
don't, we
It's gotta
fucked
be
up.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, no, it's a scary process, I think, and because when I write, my thing is like when I decide I'm putting things, if I'm gonna put something out there, I'm like, how is it? People are gonna think I'm fucking nuts, which
You
I
are.
am, but
So
in a
am I.
good way
Yeah.
usually,
Sure.
So, but I'm like, oh, people are gonna be like,
Embra-
they're gonna be judging you, and like, and I get in my head a lot, and I understand what you're saying about like, it's like, how do I put this out there? Like, how do I get it out? How do I get it out this way? And I think it's good. And one, it challenges you as an artist, right? It challenges you as an artist to push through your own boundaries to get what you need to get out there. And then two, once it's out there, I think more people relate to it than not. And I think to me, that's the best for me. Being selfish here. When someone relates to my writing, like I feel bad for them for relating to the shit I'm going through. But the other thing is like it's cool to see how people like react to things that they relate to and how for whatever reason. And I think that's another reason why with the podcast, like when I have guests on and people relate to the guests in a way. And I think that's the beauty of what this podcast is, and your music does that, I think, for a lot of people. I mean, I see the shows you guys put on, like, and you're very interactive with the crowd.
Yes.
I don't think there could be an Iron Roses show where you weren't. I had a chance to see. So I saw you guys play in Massachusetts, right? At and with it was with One Fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was after we did the podcast, and I was like super pumped to like just to see how the show would go. And like I don't know, it so many feelings was going on. I was really, really grateful to have seen you perform. And I mean, it took me, I remember at one point, like I got like, I was just like, whoa, like it just the emotions that hit me from what you guys put out, it's awesome. It's one of those things where like it was a show I'll never forget for that reason alone,
Thank you. That means a lot.
I saw that you were here this past weekend to record a music video, correct?
Yeah.
I was I went to a show that I thought that you two would appreciate so much.
Do tell.
But I knew you were shooting a video, and I know how filming goes, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a long freaking
we weren't
process.
going anywhere. Yeah, no.
But now, was that part of the little teaser that we saw on social media? No, that's something
we were
else.
filming for Body Count, which is the second single.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah.
That's a good song. Is that the first single that's
Nope,
coming out?
the first single will be Dead Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me. All right. So let's see. So Dead Eyes will definitely be out. So let's talk about that song. Can we talk about that one?
Yeah, it comes out
that
in 2
one,
days.
I mean, of recording this.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, let's definitely talk about that, because that song set the whole tone for me for the whole album.
Awesome.
Like I knew what I was getting into, So tell me about that song.
When we wrote that song, I remember immediately going, well, that's the first song on the album.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down. But it was also with my writing, it was my first foray into the idea of a breakdown chorus, you know? Like I was trying to do something new and different. I wanted to really mess with the song structures because what we really like to do is in a 2.5 minute song, really take people on a journey and really do cool new things. So it's like, it's not just a short, fast song. There are elements to it and there are different dynamics to it, and dynamics are super important to us. So I was challenging myself. I was like, how do I do this? Like take it from like this sort of almost Bad Religion pace to this drop bouncy disco feel, like, and once it hit, I was so stoked. And being able to do that, because a lot of times what we do, like Becky and I will sit here and write, and then we'll give it over to Pedro to make it shiny and cool, because my guitar playing isn't great, but I can get the idea across, and then we send it to Pedro and then he sent it back. I'm like, oh, like that's it. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That's the first song. That's the, and it was very important to speak on the topic of it as well. And to have that on the album before it, like most news in the US, gets swept under the rug. People get very excited about an issue and very upset about certain issues, and then a new issue takes over and all of a sudden this one doesn't matter anymore. So there were a lot of the elements on this album, honestly, but this one was one of those things where it's like, well, we have to fucking say something. Like we can't be a political band and not have spoken out on what's happening to Palestine. That's insane. So that was a big motivator in the words behind that song. And then also trying to figure out, holy shit, we're the Iron Roses. We're happy fun band,
Yeah.
And like, how do we bring this without devaluing the message, still having that danciness to it and that joy to it, even though it's about such a somber subject. So it was a challenge, but it's, there's a reason it's the first song on the album,
Yeah. No, it brings both of that aggressiveness that we were talking about and every other element that makes the Iron Roses the Iron Roses. And it sets the tone right away I feel like, I mean, anybody. So if anybody's been living under a rock and haven't heard y'all yet, then if this was their first introduction, they're going to be hooked. They're going to be hooked. So, I think so. And it's funny you were saying that about like the dancing stuff, because I want to say it was the Good News when I heard that one. And I wanted to dance to it. And you listen to the chorus. You listen to like the chorus of it, and it's great.
That's the one. That's the one that we're like. Every time something happens with Trump, we're like, oh, not yet. The song's not out yet. Yeah. Wait.
We have a special song for that day when we all celebrate together.
Well, not so soon. Not till August.
That might be an early single at some point, right?
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, it's great. Just the thing top to bottom, like I said, I don't know. There's just something about your writing styles that I just really enjoy. And it's just one of those things where when like I can hear the frustration of life in the music, but at the same time you want to dance, and that's a cool aspect, and like, I've talked to both of you on different levels on like through social media during like the whole, like during the election, during, just other things. And we've discussed, and like, it's just, I understand the frustration behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand like everything that's going on. And like, it's just, to me, I don't even know what to do anymore. Like I've been asking people like, hey, how do you cope with this and still create art? Cause I sometimes I just get into slump and I'm like, oh, like I just I don't know what to do. And it's fucking shattering to see some of the people that I've known my entire life and the way they went with all this. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I don't want to get too into that, but like, because when I want to smile when I see you too.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but no, it can be so frustrating to deal with. And when I see people dealing with it too, and like I honestly I've been like dissociating like a motherfucker. Recently I started to go out recently and like kind of go back out to shows. I was sick for like a few months, like between Christmas and the end of February, and then, but recently I've been like going back out and like just because like we need community
Yeah.
sometimes, you know what I mean, and to see people like-minded folks and be able to like have a good time with them and everything is I like that, so. But I don't know. I just like I see again, and the thing about what I also like about you two with social media is that you're not afraid to kind of like put things out there and be like, hey, like this is something that needs to be talked
Yeah.
about, and I appreciate that about you both because I'm not someone outside of podcast stuff. I really don't post a whole lot, so it's like it's refreshing to see people out there doing that as well. Because I mean, it needs to be done. It needs to be. Sometimes things need to be talked about. I want to talk about too. Like you guys are putting this out yourselves this
Yeah.
time.
I am.
Yeah.
What was the what? So is there a thought process behind that? Like, is there like like
I'm out.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's like a few things, right? Like, I think at the front of it, it's nobody's ever going to care about your art more than you, right?
Mhm.
Like, nobody's ever going to put the same amount of energy into putting your art into the world
Mhm.
that you are. So that's one part of it. And the other is it's like I see value in labels. Like labels have a value for many artists. And I just think that, where we're at right now, um, there's probably not a lot of labels that are going to stand up and do more than we can do for ourselves at this point in our career. Like, that could change down the road, but right now we can kind of self-fulfill our own needs.
Mhm.
And so there's something very special about that to me personally and from like a DIY perspective and just like owning our own craft and keeping it like 100% ours. It's ours. Like nobody else has, they're saying it, sharing it. No, you know what I mean? Like we release when we want, how we want. Like we call all the shots. We don't have to wait on a label to say like, hey, great. I'm glad you're done with your album. In 9 months from now, I have an opening in my release schedule
Yeah.
and we can put it out. We don't have to deal with any of that. And that's really amazing. Um, it's a ton of fucking work because it is all on us and it is all on us to be like, okay, well, this is, we don't make money off of our art yet. Like when we're on the road, we make money on the road, but we take that, we put it right back into the band bank for the next tour. So it's not like we have a ton of money here. So we're like, okay, well, what can we create, in terms of like videos or what can we do for art around this based on the assets that we have or, leveraging the community around us. And I think that there's something very purposeful and meant to be about especially an album like this for us at this place of our career to be taking it on between us each other and any community that wants to kind of step up and help offer their talents for hire to be a part of it. So right now as we're recording this like we're what like 40 less than 40 hours away
Mm.
from everything kind of the sky's opening up on it and I'm super fucking overwhelmed. But I wouldn't change it at all. I've been sitting at this table working since like 7 o'clock this morning. And yeah, I would love it if somebody else was going to step in and take on all of that, outside of us and just be done for us. But also, like, I feel like I also would kind of hate it because then it's not our baby.
Mhm.
Like, it's a baby we're sharing with somebody else. And
Mhm.
yeah.
which is sort of how
Yeah.
babies work.
Yes,
But
it is, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not fucking
Right on.
easy, but it is worth it, and it makes sense for us right now at this stage
Mhm.
of our career.
Mm. Mm. I like that. When I saw that you were putting it out yourselves, and I was I had a feeling where I was gonna get this from you know what
Yeah.
I mean, like, because it just I mean I know that someone would have taken this right away, a label, but I knew from doing it yourselves there was a reason
I know.
behind it, and it makes
Yeah.
sense, and it makes complete sense, and I think it's admirable. It's something, and if anything, you're gonna build communities even
Yeah.
more. You're gonna build a
Yeah.
community even more by doing something like this, and because I mean. Back in the 90s, and it was easier to do that kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? And people did it because they had to, and they was like, oh yeah, we're gonna put out, how many bands 7 inches, like split
Yeah.
7 inches that are
Mhm.
out there that are probably worth a bunch of money now that like no one really knows about, because it's just one of those things. And being able to do something, I think, and kind of show the process of it, I think it gives people like, hey, you could still
You
do this. Like
absolutely
Yeah.
can.
it's going to take a lot of work, take a lot of
Yeah.
time, but like you can make this
Yeah.
happen.
It also sets a
if you want.
precedence for if we do start working with a label, the first question is like, what can you do that we can't?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that helps in that conversation moving forward if we pick a label to go with in the future
Mhm.
for an album.
Mhm.
Right on. Right on. Yeah. Now, what was the like? When did you all start writing this album? Like, is there a specific time frame, or are
The
these things that have
second
been
the
kicking
first
around?
album ended. That's how I do things. Like I'm immediately
Yeah.
writing the second. And it's funny because I just went through all my voice notes on my phone and there were like 700 of them. And I've been deleting all this stuff that was like, it was just me frantically doing things into the microphone to see if something would spark. And then I would go back and I'd write songs off of it. And I can go back and be like, holy shit, can you believe that this was that song?
Yeah.
You know? Um, but yeah, as soon as we, like right now, I'm already writing for the next
Yeah. You
album.
and Pedro are
Yeah.
working today.
Pedro and I were working today on a new song. So
Nice.
it's a constant
That's awesome.
process. And I think that um, something that I truly believe in and was verified last night when we were listening to our friend Matt Bacon talk.
Yeah.
He was talking about how anybody who writes music successfully knows that you have to be writing a song or two a day. You have to. Doesn't matter if it sucks, doesn't matter if you ever use it. You have to write a song or two a day, or it's not going anywhere. You're not going to come up with magic beans. It's work, it's labor, it's hard mental, emotional, and physical labor. Every day you have to force yourself to sit down and write. And that's why we come up with the songs we do.
I used to force myself to write 700 words every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Mhm.
Just, I didn't care if it was the same word 700
Exactly.
times.
I've written the same
Like, just
song
write
like
something.
so many times. And like, then all of a sudden you realize, hey, this 500th one, that's the best one of it. How can we then take that and make it even better? How can we do this and because I also don't like sitting around and reworking things 500 times. We don't have that kind of time, but if you start early, you do. And, we're not writing Chinese democracy. It's not going to take 12 years to put out another album. It has to be pretty much every year. You have to consistently put shit out or you get forgotten. So it's immediate.
I want to ask you both this. Writing, has it been a constant your whole lives? Has there ever been a break? And like, if there was a break, like, did it do anything to you? You know what I mean? Were you missing it? You know what I'm saying?
I most of my life have been like, I have stacks of like poetry books from when I was like in middle school all the way through, like pen to paper, you know, things that I thought nobody would ever see, or I hope nobody would ever see, like that I've been doing for as long as I can remember. I mean, you've been writing
I haven't had a break in
done
33 years. And
Yeah,
even
you
before
kinda
that, when I was doing like smaller bands when I lived in Pensacola, Florida, and before that, I'm gonna be very honest with you, like even when I was like 13, I was writing songs and I was creating album covers and I would play those songs in front of the mirror and like
tennis racket.
with a tennis racket, you know? And so, no, I haven't had a break and I don't want one. This is what I do, you know?
Yeah.
And it's part of what keeps me alive and makes me happy. So the chaos of it, yeah, it can get overwhelming sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's the chaos that keeps me going and keeps me alive and what I love and what I care about.
I know when I've taken breaks from writing, it's always killed me.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, why? What am I
Yeah.
doing? You know, like isn't who I, and then sometimes I get busy and like and I don't write and like I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like I need to do it, you know, and like I've had like I've hung it up, you know, like I'm done with it. I'm done with this. I'm gonna focus on work and this and that, and like it never
I like to
pans
play
out right
tricks
for
on
me.
myself. Like I'll get overwhelmed and just go, that's it. I'm not writing anymore. I'm gonna give it like a month. And that tells my brain, oh, the fuck you are, you know, and like a week later, I'll have a song that I love, you know? So
I think I was just saying, it was like yesterday or the day before, like sometimes I forget that there are people out there who aren't like creatives and
Mhm.
creators at heart. And I'm like, what? Like I think it was because I was looking at my like scrolling through my Instagram feed and like noticing how many other artists or bands or creatives were in there. And I was like, wait a second, I sometimes forget that not everybody
Mhm.
has that experience or has that life. Like there's probably people who
Or even wants it.
right,
Yeah.
like just they
Mhm.
pick up and
Yeah.
scroll and it's like something completely different. Like they don't care about music the way we do.
Mhm.
Like music is like something in the background that they listen to in the car,
Mhm.
on the radio, or in the like it's that's crazy to me. Like
Yeah.
there's people out there that don't
Mhm.
I forget that
Mhm.
sometimes that don't have a life like this where it's ingrained in writing or
Mhm.
painting or music. Like, yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, I don't know what those people do.
Yeah.
What do those people I think they
Right.
golf.
Yeah.
They golf
Yeah.
and
People who don't love art, no matter what the form is. Like, and it could just be a consumer
Mhm.
too, right? I don't get
It's
it. I don't get it. I remember
suspicious.
I looked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there are plenty
I
of
remember
people who
living.
don't do music or do art, but they definitely are touched by it
Yeah.
and they feel it. And that's part of the process as well. They're part of the community as well. But people who
Yeah,
are just
and
like, I don't really care about music.
What?
I'm sorry, what? Like,
I think there's also people that wish they could and think they can't, but like they just need the right person to tell them they can. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Or the right thing to speak to
Well, and
them.
then also
So
a
they
lot of
so that-
people think that they want like the life that we're leading.
Mhm.
And then once they actually get out of the road on the road and stuff like that, it occurs to them, oh no, wait, I just like creating art and I would like to do that in my room by
Yeah.
myself. You know what I mean? Like all this shit sucks. I
Yeah.
hate it,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is valid too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you have to learn that, you know?
Now, is there a preference for the two of you between performing live and just writing and creating?
I
Used
mean-
to be, but not anymore.
I mean,
man.
I think you have to have they
Yeah,
they're
they go hand in
symbiotic.
hand,
Yeah, you need both.
Mhm.
I love writing when it's going right, and I hate it when it's not.
Mhm.
I think everyone does. Yeah.
The- playing live is the easier thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you're playing the song that's already been written, and it's very easy for us to be in the moment.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
writing and things like that are in the moment, but not really.
They
They're
still take
not.
discipline.
Yeah, they're not with abandon. You
Right,
know what
yeah.
I mean? So that stuff is harder.
Mhm.
So I enjoy, I guess, playing a little bit more, but really at the end of the day, it's all part of the process and all something that I treasure.
That's just it. You both are both very much in the moment when you perform, and I think that adds another layer to what you do, you know.
It's important to
And
us
I
because I hate watching bands where you can tell that there's somewhere else they'd rather be.
Yeah, that's the
You know,
worst.
or
Yeah,
they're bummed that
yeah.
like there's only 5 people there, or they're bummed about the day they had or something like that. It's like, you're playing music.
Yeah.
Be here
Mhm.
in this moment with the people who came to see you do it.
Or
You
get out
know?
of the way so I
Yeah,
can.
or get out of the way so we can. Get the fuck off stage. We'll do it. But you got 5 people here. We're fucking hanging
Yeah.
out with them. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Like,
Right on. Yeah, I don't know if that can be taught either.
No.
Like to be in the moment, be present in that
Yeah.
moment. I mean, I think to a certain extent, but just to be able to feed off of the energy, you know, and give it back. I don't think that's something that can be taught. That's just something that's in certain people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like within the group of people that do this sort of thing. So, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Like if you don't want to be here, don't. You don't have to be.
No one's
you know?
forcing you.
Like,
Please don't.
Mhm.
yeah.
You're bumming everyone out.
Right on. Now, how many singles are coming out before the album drops? Just one
No,
or
3.
a couple?
So we'll have
3?
we'll have one in May. So we have Dead Eyes coming out first, which is on May 7th. And then we have June 6th is Body Count. And then July 9th is Breathing Static. And then August
the day of the release,
day-
Molotov, the actual song Molotov Nights will
is
come
like
out.
our focus song.
Yeah.
So we'll put some attention on that song that day.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
it's all happening.
Yeah, it's great. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think like, people are going to really enjoy it. The whole DIY aspect of it all, I think, is another great element to add. And I think you two will be able to like get it out there through social media, through like just how active you are in things, right? That right. So, I think that's a great thing. And I think, are you doing pre-sale or anything?
So, when we announce our first single on Thursday of this week, the first single comes out, we announce pre-orders for vinyl and CD and merch that goes with it. And then we're also announcing our European album release tour, which will be in October. And then soon we will be announcing 2 US festivals and our US album release tour. We have a lot of things coming out that we like a lot. But it's awesome. Yeah.
Am I going to see you both up here
I would
anytime
say
soon?
absolutely, probably. Because we're planning on doing our US album release tour in September. Because in September we are playing the Lost Evenings Fest with Frank Turner in Dallas, is it?
Yep.
In Dallas. And then another thing that we can't announce yet that's happening in that same time frame. So we'll do our album release tour in the US in that month. And I would pitch a fit if we weren't coming up to Boston for that, because it's like one of our second homes right now. Like I love going there and playing, and there's so many familiar faces. Like it was awesome to shoot a video there this weekend because it was like there were so many people who raised their hand that we knew who wanted to be a part of it. And it's amazing to have a community. You know, I know Devin lives there, but for us to have a community so far from where we physically live, is pretty awesome.
It's funny to have like sort of 2 other homes besides where we are in like Richmond and Salem.
Yep.
They couldn't be further from each other, but it's like,
we're lucky that way.
Yeah.
And you know, like you said, like just with the DIY aspect of the album itself, we have such a beautiful, incredible group of fans who our little rosebuds, as they call themselves, who will 100%, you know, help us. They're gonna be the reason that anything that we do sees the light of day or takes off. You know, their passion and their excitement, that'll be the driver.
It's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Like I said, the Iron Roses are building community, and I said it in the very beginning when I first had you both on, and you know, you've stayed true to that this entire time. You know, I wish you both nothing but the best with this new record. I think it's going to be a huge hit.
Thank you.
And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. Will you come back? Will you come back and talk to me again?
Yes.
Third time's the
Cool,
Nope.
cool.
Bye. Stop.
All right. So where can people find the Iron Roses on social media? Where can people pre-order the record and all that sort of stuff?
So you can find us on mostly Instagram and Facebook. Sometimes
Just
we
type in
push
the
things-
Iron Roses.
Yes, find us there. So through both of those places, you will find links to where to pre-order. So we are doing a pre-order for the albums ourselves in the US, which means we are going to be packing and shipping things out of this room that we are sitting in right now. But we are partnering with Cortex Records in Europe to fulfill orders outside of the US because we are lucky to have a lot of fans who do not live in the US who I don't want to make pay
We
US
cannot fulfill
shipping.
this on our own.
We
yeah.
did that with the 7-inch and it wasn't great for them. We want to be fair. So yeah, through us and our own shop for the US, through Cortex for everywhere else. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks for coming back on. I
Thank you for
appreciate you
having
both.
us.
I appreciate everything you both do for music and for, life and for, it's like I said, you both are a breath of fresh air sometimes in this shit world, and you're not afraid to tackle issues and, hold people accountable. So I appreciate that.
Our pleasure.
So we'll talk to you again.
Yes.